Hi, my name is Annabelle Liu, and my husband Scott has ALS. Some of you know that as Lou Gehrig's disease. Scott has a feeding tube and a tracheostomy. The 3-foot long circuits that run from his trach tube tether him to a ventilator that runs 24/7. Scott is paralyzed, and as of today, the only muscles that he can still move are his eyelids and the one corner of his mouth. He cannot smile, he cannot grimace or gasp, but I can tell by his eyes if he is laughing or he is anxious. Like when our 5-year-old twin boys, Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, are about to fall off his bed in a lightsaber duel. ALS has greatly changed Scott's appearance. His arms and his legs and his shoulders have shrunken, and only the muscles, once the muscles on his face started failing, his face sort of got thinner here and then fleshier here in his jawline. Unfortunately, his hairline is retreating too, but as he says, that's the least of his problems. One of Scott's biggest problems is getting out of the house. We are fortunate because, unlike many ALS families, we have a van to transport him. But for a completely paralyzed person, any car ride with normal braking and acceleration is quite bruising. Even though his head and his torso are strapped down, every time the car stops, his body presses against the straps and the seat belts, and then when the car accelerates again, he falls back into place. He usually arrives at his destination wiped out. The only outings that Scott will do now are absolutely mandatory visits to the doctor. And yet his hair still grows. I have cut it, but I admit, even after a few years, I'm not getting any better. So when the beauty bus approached us at the Cedars-Sinai ALS clinic about a home visit from a professional stylist, it was an answer to a prayer. Because even though Scott has rapidly lost his autonomy and his ability to care for himself, he would still like to control anything he can about his appearance. So a beauty bus visit is an uplifting event in more ways than one. The cheerful beauty buddy that comes with the stylist passes out beauty products, and the nurse and Scott and myself, we try it all out. It's really fun. And when the stylist is working so carefully around all of the medical equipment, and we're holding up Scott's head so she can cut behind at the top of his neck, we talk about movies and children and current events, just like anyone would in a barbershop or beauty salon today. I think you can imagine how invaluable this service is to homebound chronically ill patients, because for at least that day, they're being focused on, beauty is what is being focused on and not their illness. So it is a gift of beauty and caring that Beauty Bus brings to our house, and we are very appreciative. Thank you.